Hi, I'm Jordan D'Souza, first Kapellmeister of the Komische Oper here in Berlin, and today we're going to explore a little bit together the Italian tenor aria from Der Rosenkavalier. This is an aria that's unbelievably warm, intense, passionate. And how does Strauss do that? These are words we use so often to describe music, but maybe today we'll try and get a little bit behind. What are the real tools in his chest that he uses to define this character? First thing he has to do, of course, is choose a key. Now, not all keys are made equal. Each key has its own personality and characteristic. Some tend to be more positive, and others tend to wallow a little bit. Imagine you wanted to write a piece that was innocent, pure, childlike. Mozart might take C major. Now imagine Mozart took that same piece, same notes essentially in relation to another, and played it instead in E flat major. Somehow it's the same body, but a totally different soul. The character of the piece becomes something very different. Now if we look to the darker side of things, at the fourth act of The Marriage of Figaro is Barbarina in F minor. Somehow the ability to wallow or to go to dark places works really well in F minor. Now maybe you think I pulled a fast one on you, and the first one was in a major key, and the second one was in a minor key. But how about Beethoven with Elise in A minor? Somehow that's really different than Barbarina's world. They're both minor keys. How about if we took Elise down to the world of Barbarina? Somehow you feel like she's put on 20 years and had a little bit more life experience. So keys can have their own quality. Now, if this is a new idea to you, imagine that C major is neutral territory, middle of the spectrum. And as we go brighter, so that's towards the sharps, things become sunshine and brightness. Whereas, if we go to the flat side, down the spectrum, we get warmth. And that's how Strauss arrives, and Strauss chooses D flat major for his key. Now, what are some other analogies we can find in D flat major? How about Debussy? He finds a way to almost softly light this from the back. That wouldn't be the same if he'd, say, put it here. To fire the lighting guy. Doesn't work at all. So we imagine D flat major can have a certain mood and atmosphere that maybe Strauss was looking for. What are some of the other things? How about in opera? D flat major. So it's a tenorial key, a key that works great for tenors as well, which is exactly what Strauss needs here. So we arrive in majestic, romantic D flat major. And how does this piece start? So Strauss here, if you listen to the melody, has always this little trail beneath it, like a shadow of a lower sixth. And imagine what it sounds like without that. Beautiful, perfectly acceptable, but somehow it lacks richness. So Strauss finds this richness by giving the melody a wingman. And this phrase comes inwards. This one starts down, and it expands to the top. What's that? That's a gesture. It's like it's a fanfare, but it's actually in this context a lyrical fanfare. What's that at the end? This cadence has settled, and yet Strauss keeps the tension in the phrase so that it can go on. And now listen to this, like a rocket. Wow, what's that? He uses these syncopations, so offbeat music. to create this rocket effect to the top of the tenor's register, which arrives on the wrong chord. Should be, but that's not interesting enough. That doesn't keep the tension that Strauss is looking to do so. The tension is doubled by this diminished chord. A diminished chord used to be historically what they would show any kind of restlessness, anger, fear would be shown through this. But this, in the Romantic time, started to evolve a bit and become actually an expressive way to intensify a climax. I try to think of another example of that in Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony. Similar function, actually, that the climax of the phrase comes with that before the tension releases into this kind of sweetness. So here we have rockets, and he doubles the intensity. The lower six is back. Now watch this. What's that move? That's special. It should really be. But that's not enough for Strauss. He finds a way to make every little turn expressive, to really make the most of every passing little color he finds there. And he repeats the phrase again, but this time one thing is different. The rockets have become dolphins. What's that? And here comes the tension. How long can you hold it? Look at that move. We've heard that once before, but this time he keeps the first note of the previous chord and doesn't resolve it till just a little later. Then comes the resolution. And if it was Wagner, it would go there, but this Strauss. Sixths, the wingman's back. And now at the end, the song is basically finished. But here we add a coda, which in music is kind of like a musical PS. He said everything he has to say, but just to drive the point home one last time and really give the tenor a chance to sing another glorious high note, we get this beautiful